You're in midlife. You haven't changed what you eat. You're still moving your body, right? And you're doing what most people think is what you're supposed to do. That's right. And yet your waistline is expanding. Your energy is tanking. Your reflection feels unfamiliar. And no matter what you try, your body is just not responding. You go to your doctor hoping for answers, and they offer little more than a shrug, or worse, they say that tired old phrase, just eat less and move more. And at that moment, you don't just feel dismissed, you feel invisible, like you're screaming out loud and no one is listening. But here's what's really happening. You're not lazy. You're not overeating, and also you're not imagining things. You are experiencing a hormonal chaos because of menopause. And then out of nowhere, you hear about this so-called miracle shot, right? A weekly injection that, according to the headlines, melts the weight right off. Celebrities are using it, influencers are swearing by it, and women at the gym are whispering about it in locker rooms. And then suddenly, GLP-1 weight loss drugs are everywhere. You've definitely heard the names: Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound, and yes, Saxenda. Some call them life-changing and others call them overrated. But for many, they're just a complete mystery. So today I am cutting through the noise and I'm breaking it all down. What are these drugs? How do they actually work? And most importantly, how do they fit into the complex, confusing, and often dismissed reality of menopause? Now, let me be clear though from the very jump. I am not here to promote these medications, but I'm not here to bash them either. I'm here to educate, because when it comes to menopause, quick fixes won't cut it, and oversimplified answers, well, they can do more harm than good. So in this episode, we are unpacking the good, the bad, and the ugly of GLP-1s, from the benefits and breakthroughs to the blind spots and bold claims. And I promise you this, though, by the end of this episode, you'll walk away with more clarity, more confidence, and more insight than most people, even some providers, have on the topic. So grab your tea, grab your notebook, or just lean in, because the Mr. Menopause Show is about more than menopause. It's about empowerment, evidence, and understanding your body in a whole new way. So let's start with the good. And that's why GLP-1s are so tempting and transformative. And well, the point that where most conversations start about these drugs are the results, right? It's the excitement, the testimonials that make you pause mid-scroll and whisper to yourself, should I try this or not? Because when you're in menopause and your body feels like it's been hijacked and nothing that you try is working and you're just exhausted and you just want to feel normal again, right? Well, GLP-1s, well, they sound like the answer to your silent prayers, right? And let's be real. Menopause weight gain, well, it hits differently. And this isn't just about skipping workouts or indulging in desserts. It's about your body shifting on a level that has nothing to do with willpower. Your hormones are riding on unpredictable roller coaster, up 1 minute, down the next, derailing your metabolism, inflaming your joints, and making your cravings feel like an uninvited guest that you just can't get rid of. Now, you may feel defeated. You may feel ignored. You may feel like you're losing control of your body that you used to know. And then suddenly, someone whispers 2 words: Ozempic, Wegovy, right? And you start hearing stories: women losing 20, 30, 50 pounds, clothes they gave up on years ago, suddenly sliding on with ease, energy coming back, confidence returning, hope reawakening. And guess what? Those stories matter, because when you've been gaslit by doctors, ignored by the wellness industry, and shamed by mainstream fitness culture, well, those wins can feel revolutionary. Now, let's talk science for a moment, though, because LGB1s, they actually mimic a hormone in your body that is already made called glucagon-like peptide 1. It helps regulate blood sugar, slows down digestion, and sends signals of satiety to your brain that you're full. And the result is reduced hunger, fewer cravings, and improved insulin response. And in menopause, where insulin resistance is rising and cortisol is storing fat like it's preparing for winter, well, this combination can feel like a total metabolic reset. And listen, the results are real. In clinical trials, semaglutide, which is the active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy, led to up to 16% of weight loss in non-diabetic individuals. Tirzepatide, which is found in Mounjaro and Zepbound, well, it hit even harder, up to 25% weight loss. That's bariatric surgery level impacts, and that's without the surgery, right? But it's not just about the numbers. It's about what those numbers represent. One woman said, I didn't realize how much space my weight was taking up in my head. And now I feel like I can finally live and breathe again. Another said, this was the first time in over a decade that I woke up and didn't feel like my body was betraying me. And as someone who has coached women for over 2 decades, I can tell you that feeling of finally feeling seen, finally feeling relief, well, for women who are experiencing it, is powerful. And GLP-1 weight loss drugs offer many women their first win in years, especially those who've been quietly battling PCOS, insulin resistance, prediabetes, or metabolic syndrome for most of their adult lives, but have also been dismissed through that life as well. So yes, there's real good here. There's real tangible, valid good. But here's the thing. Weight loss is a result, not a solution. And what do you do with that result? Well, that's where true wellness begins, because success in menopause isn't about shrinking your body. It's about strengthening your life physically, mentally, and emotionally, because that's how menopause impacts. So coming up, we're going to really talk about the risks, the reality, and the reasons that you need a strategy, even if you do use GLP-1s, because this journey isn't just about what you lose. It's about what you're building next. And that is where the magic really happens. So now we've explored why GLP-1s are appealing. Now let's talk about the part that rarely makes it into the social media captions, and that's the bad. Those are the drawbacks, the risks, and the realities, because as hopeful as these medications are, hope without a full picture can lead to disappointment, frustration, and worse, harm. Let's be real. LGP-1s weren't created for weight loss. These drugs were originally designed to treat type 2 diabetes, not menopause-related metabolic changes. And yes, the weight loss was a side effect. And yes, some versions like Wegovy and Zepbound have since been FDA approved for chronic weight management. But here's the key. Menopause is not obesity. It's a biological transition that brings a hormonal complex shift. Estrogen drops, cortisol climbs, insulin response changes, your sleep patterns shift, your muscle declines. Your body is adapting to any of those underlying factors. They suppress your appetite, yes. They help regulate blood sugar, yes. But they don't balance your hormones. They don't rebuild muscle. They don't improve bone density. They don't restore libido or lift your mood or help you sleep through the night. And for midlife women who are trying to understand why their bodies feel foreign, this all matters, because you're not looking for a temporary fix here. You are looking for a long-term transformation. Now, we talked the good and the bad. Now it's the ugly. And those are the symptoms. Many women experience some gastrointestinal discomfort when they start. Nausea, constipation or diarrhea, vomiting, loss of appetite, and for some, it goes beyond the stomach. Fatigue, dizziness, headaches, hair thinning, even something that's called Ozempic face, and that's that hollowed, aged look from rapid fat loss and fluid loss. Now, none of this is guaranteed, of course. Some women tolerate these meds beautifully, and others have to stop after a few weeks. Now, one woman I spoke with said the nausea was relentless. She wasn't eating, and not because she felt in control, but because she felt sick. She said that she didn't feel empowered. She felt miserable. Another shared that she lost the weight, but she also lost her energy, her muscle, and her husband said she also lost her spark and her vitality. She didn't even realize how much vitality she lost or how much she would miss it until it was gone. And then that brings us to something that I consider the most biggest concern, which is muscle loss. Look, this one deserves a spotlight because GLP-1s don't discriminate. When you lose weight fast, you're not just shedding fat. You're also losing lean muscle. And unless you're actively working to preserve it with strength training and protein-focused nutrition, well, this is especially problematic for women in menopause because you're already at risk for sarcopenia, and that is age-related muscle decline. And muscle isn't just about tone or strength, by the way. It's metabolic balance, it's blood sugar control, it's bone protection, right? And when you lose muscle, your resting metabolism slows down, your risk for fractures increase, and your body composition changes, even if the scale looks the same. Now, if you don't protect your muscle during GLP-1 use, you can find yourself smaller, but also weaker, softer, and more vulnerable long term. And then what happens when you stop? That's the conversation far too few people are having. See, GLP-1s aren't a cure. They're a maintenance tool. And when you stop the injections without a supportive strategy in place like fitness, hormone-aware nutrition, stress management, and sleep regulation, well, weight regain is common. And sometimes it returns faster than it left. Not because you failed, but because the foundation was never built. So here is the takeaway from this part of the journey. GLP-1s may deliver rapid results, but without a plan, you're going to be right back where you started, right? Or worse, feeling depleted, discouraged, and still confused about what your body actually needs. And look, I'm not sharing this with you to scare you. I'm sharing this because you deserve the full picture, not hype, not shame, not silence. You deserve to make decisions from a place of power, not pressure.
I really appreciated how Tawfiq laid out the facts. No scare tactics, no pressure. Just honest insight about what weight loss medications actually do and what to watch out for. This is the first of a special spin-off series of the Mr. Menopause Show called Segments, where we get to experience powerful highlights from the full episode. Want more? Watch the full episode on Bold Brave TV or Mr. Menopause TV. And if you're wondering what your next step should be, take the free Menopause Readiness Quiz at menopausereadinessquiz.com. Don't miss the next segment. It's coming soon.